Imagine you are just 13 years old. One morning you are laughing with friends at school. A few moments later, you are forbidden from going to the park. You are forced to wear a yellow star on your clothes. Then one day you disappear. Not because you want to, but if anyone finds you, you could be sent to the place where millions never return. For more than 2 years, a young girl lived hidden behind a bookshelf, unable to step outside, unable to laugh too loudly, unable to look at the sky whenever she wanted. But she had one thing no one could take away: her words. She wrote about fear, she wrote about hope, she wrote about growing up. She wrote about future she dreamed of seeing. She never imagined these pages would become one of the most important books in human history. Her name was Anne Frank, and this is the true story of the diary that survived when its author did not. Anne Frank was born on June 12, 1929, in Frankfurt, Germany. Her father, Otto Frank, was a businessman. Her mother, Edith Frank, cared for the family. Anne's older sister, Margot, was calm and studious, while Anne was energetic, curious, and loved telling stories. She enjoyed reading books, joking with friends, and dreaming about becoming a writer. To anyone who met her, Anne seemed like an ordinary child with an extraordinary imagination. But Europe was changing. In 1933, Adolf Hitler came to the power in Germany. His government began introducing laws that discriminated against the Jewish people. The jobs disappeared, rights were taken away, and families lived in fear. Recognizing the danger, Otto Frank moved his family to Amsterdam in Netherlands, hoping to build a safer future. For a few years it worked. Annie made friends, attended school, learned Dutch, and enjoyed a relatively peaceful childhood. But peace would not last. In May 1940, Germany invaded the Netherlands. Life changed almost every night. Jewish families faced increasing restrictions. They could no longer visit parks, cinemas, or swimming pools, but they had to attend a separate school. They were required to wear a yellow star for David. Simple freedoms disappeared one by one. Annie later described how every new rule made the world feel smaller. On June 12, 1942, Annie received a red and white checkered diary for their 13th birthday. She immediately began writing in it, addressing many entries to the imaginary friend she called Kitty. Just a few weeks later, Annie's sister Margaret received an audit report for forced labor. The family believed this could lead to deportation. Otto Frank decided there was no more time to wait. The next morning, they went into hiding. The Frank family hid in a concealed section of Otto Frank's office building in Amsterdam. The entrance was hidden behind a movable bookcase, and this secret space became known as the Secret Annex. Later, four more people joined them. Eight people shared a crammed hiding place for more than 2 years. During the day, they had to remain almost completely silent because employees worked in the warehouse below. A drop spoon or loud footsteps could reveal their presence. Despite the constant fear, Annie continued writing. Her diary captured everyday life in hiding small arguments, moments of laughter, loneliness, and hope. She also wrote about growing up, her dreams of becoming a journalist, and her determination to keep believing in humanity. One of her most famous reflections expressed her hope that people could still choose kindness over during terrible times. On August 4, 1944, the secret annex was discovered. The people hiding there were arrested, and historians still do not know exactly how the hiding place came to be found. Annie and others were deported through a Nazi camp system. Only Otto Frank survived the war and died in early 1945, only a week before the camp where she was held was liberated, and she was 15 years old. After the war, Otto Frank returned to the Amsterdam. One of the helpers who had spotted the family during the time in hiding and preserved Annie's diary. And when Otto read it, he discovered thoughts and dreams his daughter had never shared with him. Annie had hoped to become a writer in a way she did. Her diary was published and eventually translated into dozens of languages. Today, millions of people around the world read her words, and they are not only the record of history but also a reminder that behind every statistic is a human life, a family, and a child with dreams. Anne Frank did not change history with the weapons or the political power, she changed it with the honesty. And her diary reminds us that even in humanity's darkest moment, a single voice can endure. If we remember Anne Frank, we also remember the importance of protecting human dignity, standing against the hatred, and listening to the stories that history leaves behind.